Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Alicia. Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we're playing Nancy Drew the Silent Spy Pre-Order Edition. Let me tell you the difference between Pre-Order Edition and the regular game. So the difference between Pre-Order Edition and the regular game, well, Her Interactive likes to make things just a little bit complicated. They do not label their special games with the pre-orders. And you can only get the special games by pre-ordering the games before it's available. Oi! I mean, I'm glad that's a thing, but at the same time, it's unfortunate for those who want to get it after the release of the game. Because once the game is released publicly, it is impossible to get the special edition. I mean, I'm sure you could try to get it from someone who works within Her Interactive, but I don't know if that will work. That is my assumption. Do not take my word for that. Anywho, the difference is basically dependent if Nancy has a cell phone in the game. And in Silent Spy, she does have a cell phone. I actually will be doing a review time of this game, but I will do that in the outro, not here, because that will take a super long time. Anyway, the difference is basically in the cell phone and partly in the awards, because you get phone charms and that helps out with the achievements as well. You get a phone charm achievement once you get all 7 phone charms, and in this game the little symbol for it is Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. So cute. And there's actually 2 features of the game which have been added in Ghost of Thornton Hall, the previous game, number 28 if I'm correct. And I'm just pointing these 2 new features out just because they kind of pertain to, well, just this one actually, the spoiler-free achievement. The only one new feature pertains to an achievement, which here is the spoiler-free achievement. This refers to the hint system that they added in the game, and I will point that out once we get in the game. The other new feature, which I super like, there's also outtakes. It varies on those outtakes. I'm not going to tell the difference between those because it's complicated. But the other new feature is the fast convo. I will only turn this on just for a little bit because it is best to explain this by showing it in the game. Same thing with the hint system. And like I said, the difference between regular edition and the special edition is the phone. Basically, you get mini games on the phone, you get random text from Ned Nickerson, which is Nancy's boyfriend, or what I like to call romantic friend, because in the book series, the relationship title changes every binding, and if not every other book. It's one of my pet peeves, and I believe that might actually be it. I do know that sometimes there are side stories with Nancy's phone friends, and if not phone friends, it's with her actual friends within the game. It's either Bess and George, who are cousins, or her detective friends, Frank and Joe Hardy, who are brothers. They also have their own book series, Hardy Brothers, and I believe that's it. Sometimes Ned Nickerson is one of her phone friends, and other times, Ned Nickerson is actually paired off with one of Nancy's friends, either Bess, George, Frank, or Joe. It's actually pretty funny when that happens, because the side story is hilarious. Oi! By the way, before we get into the game, I do want to mention, if anything in this video does not look familiar, it is because you have not been keeping up. Please, please, please check the description box below. There's the previous video as well as the playlist. I recommend the playlist because it will have everything that I've done so far with Nancy Drew the Silent Spy. One more thing I forgot to mention, because every single Nancy Drew, except for maybe like the first 5 games, there's 2 profiles that you can choose from, Amateur Sleuth and Master Sleuth. With Amateur, you get regular puzzles, hints available, detailed task list, which I super love. I'm going to stick with that till the end of the game collection, including Midnight in Salem, that is coming out this year, which I am super excited about. And there's also Master Sleuth, which is more challenging puzzles, no hints, basic task list. But in my opinion, basic task list is basically no task list whatsoever. So you basically got to know what you are doing and what to do next, even when you take a break from the game. Oi! That is not something I can do, because my brain is dumb. But I will try to attempt that once I get all the games done and up on the channel. Wish me luck. And that is actually There is one more thing I do want to bring up, and I'm actually not sure if it will be in the video or not, because this is one of the things that I always bring up in every single Nancy Drew video. There is a warning to this, because The Silent Spy, it's actually my least favorite game in the series. And it is not just because of the plot. I don't like the plot, even though I love the story. It's just not for Nancy Drew. It's the relationship that her interactive did with Nancy and her father. It is not a healthy relationship. In fact, it's not something to repeat either in-game or outside the game in reality. I don't like it. Like I said, it's not healthy. You should never have a relationship like that where you have to force a relationship to hit rock bottom in order to move forward. I mean, I suppose there are bumps and twists and stuff like that in a relationship, but not like this. Not like this where you have to test someone's trust. It's not fair to either of you. And that's basically what happens in this game. It's not only a psychological damaging kind of thing that can affect young people, but it can also affect people of any age. Any age. It doesn't have to be a young person. It can be any age, really. And there are certain situations and scenarios in this game that are actually not very kids friendly. In fact, there have already been a couple of scenes that we've seen in this game already that you should be aware of that were not kids friendly. This is why I always put that parental guidance, viewer discretion advised, at the beginning of every single video in those cases. This is actually kind of the review part, which I should be putting in the outro, but I have to put this in to let you all know. And this is just a warning because of what we might see in this video. Of course, in this video, there's going to be a lot going on because we're going to be solving a huge puzzle that I'm actually always confused about. I've never been able to understand this particular puzzle that we're about to do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the game, shall we? Alright, so before we get into this puzzle, I do want to bring up the stuff that I did mention in the beginning. So this is the hint system that I was referring to. Once you hit the question mark, it'll give you a hint as to how to complete the task in the list. If ever you get stuck, I'm not gonna do that because it will ruin the spoiler-free achievement. I still haven't gone through my footage, so I don't know if I've ruined that achievement or not. So we'll see what I did. So, and also in the cell phone, I'm gotta hurry up because there's so much gaming to do. For the mini games, these are all from the previous Nancy Drew games. Double Take is from Warnings of Waverly Academy. Renograms is actually a game outside of the Nancy Drew world. This is a real thing that people love to play, and some people hate to play. Or sorry, despise to play. Hates is not a good word to use. Renograms is used in Shadow at the Water's Edge, as well as Trail of the Twister. Land Rush is also used in Trail of the Twister. Wires is used in Alibi and Ashes. Escape is used in Captive Curse. Aggregation, Deadly Device. Color Block, this has actually been used in multiple games. I am positive it was used in Deadly Device as well as Captive Curse, but I think it might be in one or two other games, and I can't quite remember. If any of you know it, please comment down below so that I can mention it in future videos, because this game will be brought up in other future Nancy Drew games as mini games. So I like to make sure I have the facts straight so that no one else gets confused. Alright, so this puzzle here is basically a cipher. If you're familiar with the movie Da Vinci Code, which I hope you're not because Nancy Drew games are normally for teenagers, even though one of the Big Brother people is a Nancy Drew gamer. Heck yeah! Nancy Drew for the win! Anyway, in the Da Vinci Code, he actually had to, it wasn't a code like this, nothing this complex, but he had to put in a 5-letter word that's not Da Vinci, but someone else. Code word was apple, because something was missing from the statue that he was looking at, and it turned out to be apple, and it worked. Of course, you don't find out until later on. I think I might have spoiled it in case of those who haven't seen the film yet. So I actually kinda cheated, because I took a photo of this on my iPad so that I could figure it out on the spot. I've never been able to understand this puzzle, even with the strategy guide. And I looked over the strategy guide one more time just to make sure I understood it, and I think I actually do this time. So let's go through this. Actually, what I do with the cheat book, because I wrote down the instructions. Okay, so the Cypher, actually we have 2 clues for this. Whoops, not the menu, the camera. We have this, that it was in the archives. This is actually something Nancy's mom put in the archives. This is actually supposed to help us out. And then in her mom's case notes, we find this. Now this is when things get interesting. From what I understand, if some symbols appear twice, you overlap them with this and line up each section in proper sequence. So I guess, and I never did write down the actual answer for it, which is unfortunate. Alright, so let us look. This is pretty much going to take all video. So, nope, 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 nope. Okay, so let's see. Some symbols appear twice, overlap them, and line up each section in proper sequence. Oh, so what symbol appears first? Okay, so the asterisk appears first. No, I'm confused. I don't know how this works. I mean, I could try to align this with what we have on the paper, which might be the answer, because there are no repeats. Actually, no, there's 1 repeat. No, there's 2. Hang on. Hang on. I think I get it. I think I get it. So, okay, so this appears.
Time to figure this thing out.
What are you texting me, Ned? Oh, it's Zoe. I just changed your code name to something that's unfit for print. LOL. Oh my gosh, Zoe, I'm not in the mood to deal with you right now. I will have to look at it later. Okay, so this here, and then this here. The first repeat, I think it would be have to be this one, because the next thing we need is this after that. Alright, well, sorry everyone, I'm cheating. I can't figure this out. Okay, so I almost had it right at the beginning. The @ symbol goes here. Oh, was it literally saying? Oh, that's what it meant! That's what it meant! Oh gosh dang it, I did not mean to do that. So that's what it meant. So see, this is obviously is where it's supposed to start, this. And then see where this repeats here. And then there's the @ symbol, and then it goes on with these 2. And these 2 actually show up right here, which continues on. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't see that. I never freaking saw that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that actually makes sense. Alrighty then. So wait, does that mean the rest? I don't know what the rest is. But I'm looking at the solution, so. Oh wait, where was this squiggle supposed to go? After the exclamation point. There we go. Got it. And now for the turning of them, which is weird. So you're actually supposed to say something here. I think it was either the bottom part or the top part. Or no, the middle. The middle. Okay. But the middle part, you can clearly see that it starts with M-U-S-I. Because nothing else makes sense. Alright. So let's try going. Okay, I could kind of see it there. Music, the Oh, music theme. I see it now. Music theme. S R Reveal. Music theme. Music themes. Reveal. Reveal. Okay, so we just need to find the L that finishes it.
Music themes reveal ace. I think she's talking about the song she wrote. Maybe I could convince Dad to help me with that.
Yeah, we figured it out. Sweet. Can we please change this picture? I think it was a tunnel. Yeah.
Is everything okay?
I need the sheet music to that song Mom always played.
It's gone.
All the way gone?
All the way gone. It was in the files I had shredded.
Sorry, hang on a second. I forgot to do something. Oh, wow. Yeah, I am overtime. Okay, after this conversation, I have to get going.
I think Mom hid a code in that song.
A code?
I remember she told me that there were certain musical phrases.
That stood for each of us. I know.
That's true then?
It is. She wrote the song for me a long time ago. And then, when you were born, she rewrote it. She added you into the song.
Aw.
I really needed that.
I can. I'll get it to you. I can remember it. It might take a little while.
You play piano?
Your mom taught me that song, but it's been a while. I'll see what I can do.
Awesome.
I'll let you go.
Goodbye.
Wow. They're mending. That's beautiful.
Nancy, what's up?
Can we talk about... I mean, we did bring this up. We did get him to research Revenant at the beginning of the game, and then the previous video we got him to talk about that and found out that parent, guardian, and humanitarian group came up. We're kind of wondering if it might be similar to the Templars from Assassin's Creed.
You mentioned the word parent came up a lot when talking about Revenant. What do you think that means?
According to some blogger, it's because sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they seem cruel. But there's a design behind everything.
Like a parent.
And if they're a good parent, then it's almost like they're trying to shape the world into what they think it should be.
And if they're not a good parent?
Then they're trying to shape the world in their own image.
Yeah, sounds like Templars. And see these arrows? We finally in a conversation where I can explain it, and I have to get going. So these arrows, once they're lit up, you actually have the option to skip the actual conversation of, or at least the dialogue that the person is talking, either Nancy or the person she's talking to. And of course, since we're already done with the conversation and we're heading out, jeez, I'm definitely going to be working on post-production to limit on how long that took. So we're going to be saying music theme. And we're getting out of here. We're going to save again so that I don't make the same mistake as before from, what was it, episode 2? I'm going to keep bringing that up every single video. Oh man, makes me laugh every single time. Okay, so review time. And this time I actually won't do the effects that I normally do just because we're short on time, or at least I am. So, like I said, Silent Spy is my least favorite game, and you can kind of see why, because at this point, her relationship with her dad is somewhat mending now, only because he's actually helping her finish the case. And I think he's only doing that because he wants her to come home ASAP. So again, that's not a good reason for him to help her, if that's really his incentive. And that's just me assuming. I don't know if that's really the case of why he's helping her. We don't really know the full story of why her dad is just now helping her. Pretty much up until a few videos ago, her dad was against everything she was doing. He did not want her helping Revenant. He did not want her helping Cathedral. He didn't want her to do anything that was connected to her mom. Only because, well, he thought it would be too damaging for her, as well as him. I think in this particular case, he's actually being a bit selfish here. And this is my opinion, of course. This is my take on this. I've watched so many movies, so many shows, and read books of so many relationships that are actually kind of similar to this, and it drives me nuts that people don't pay attention to clues, details, and hints, and it's crazy that people try to read between the lines when they really shouldn't be. That is what screws up relationships. You try to read between the lines, you assume things, you don't communicate. I always tell people communication is key, communication is important. But I do know that there are 3 other components to a relationship. Trust, rely. What was the other one? Frick, where's that chart that I had from the class? Yeah, I actually took a healthy relationships class this year, and it actually really helped me. And there's this thing that they gave us. There it is. It's called a relationship attachment model. There's basically 5 components: know, trust, rely, commit, and touch. I honestly want people to know that this is important when it comes to healthy relationships and to avoid situations and scenarios like what's going on between Nancy and her father. It is not healthy. I keep repeating myself. It's important for me to know that you guys are healthy and know that you are doing good. I want you happy and healthy in your life. I don't like seeing people sad. And that is actually partly why I started this channel. Alright, so I am talking way too much. I gotta get going. I love you all so much, my beautiful kittens and viewers. I hope I helped you some, at least a little bit. If not, I'm not doing my job. And I will talk to you all in the next video. And hopefully, actually it will be, because I'm gonna play this game until it is done. I don't care how long the video is. It will be the last video of the Silent Spy, because it is basically the last weekend of the month. It is frustrating that I haven't finished the game yet, because it is basically October next week. And on that note, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. And if you're just now tuning into this channel, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button to make it that beautiful gray, as well as the bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do, which are on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays, rarely Fridays. And I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Fresky Rabbit, Fun World, saying goodbye. Stay awesome and stay on YouTube! L is for the way you look at me. Parent Trap. The Parent Trap is definitely a good example. Oh my gosh.